What's going on here? Hey guys, welcome back to the Cantina. You all know the rules. I know there are a lot of big streams going on. And but I kind of wanted to put this out there, and I know I'm gonna get some views. So, first off, I would take it with a grain of salt when someone said Kathleen Kennedy is the most powerful woman in Hollywood. I don't really think so. The reason simply is this: what's happened to that franchise has been nothing short of, she nuked it. I mean, she totally trashed the most expensive IP in history in 6 years. All right. So I find it hard to believe that nobody in Hollywood is talking about that. That's not like an open secret. I mean, even Cameron says it's an open secret in Hollywood. So therefore people are talking about it. So when people say, oh, well, maybe when she went into Lucasfilm, but since she's been there, I don't really see her, I don't see where her reputation would have gotten even bigger. What can she point to say, look at everything I've done? Nothing. I mean, yeah, you've basically killed the franchise. Wow. Okay, these are the things we all need to think. We don't know what people are saying. And it's all just fan speculation because we're on the outside looking in. We're all frustrated. Hey, Dave, we're frustrated. We're upset. We're reading too much into things. I'll get into that. We're lashing out. We're being emotional. And I'm pretty much like, it's time to sit back and think logically, think strategically. First off, when the guys at Midnight's Edge were talking about, the Bobs really not caring about what happens with Star Wars or Lucasfilm because the Chinese money. Really? Here's the deal. And talk all you want about Chinese money, but I know firsthand from other filmmakers. That the Chinese don't keep up their agreements. So allowing that idea to float out there that because they're getting so much Chinese money, they don't need to worry about what goes on with this, with Lucasfilm is bullshit. Okay. Another thing, China hates Star Wars. Yeah, well, Mike, I don't know. I mean, everybody I read all that differently. And it's really funny. When he was first cornered, like this last Monday, when he was first cornered, on Monday, Chapek basically gave her the kiss of death. And that's what, yeah, it is clickbait. I mean, he doesn't know what he's talking about. The kiss of death, I thought. And then we get to that one collar, and basically Chapek said the same thing, but now it's different. See, this is the thing that upsets me greatly about people, is they're not consistent. They immediately jump on the emotional bandwagon. And I can't do that. I don't, I've seen way too many people. I've seen way too, I know, but G-Man, that's because everybody else but me is going, oh my God, she's never going away. She has 10 more years. Does she? Does she? Do we honestly, with her record, do we honestly think that? I mean, come on. I want you guys to think about that. How many of us are being pulled emotionally by other people with louder voices than mine? That's the problem of today right now. A lot of people don't understand finance. They don't understand the ramifications of if Chapek said what was really going on. People inside, like Cameron was saying to them, to these same people, that it's an open secret that the sequel trilogy was a failure. She can't look at the High Republic as being successful either. Okay. Now, one could say she's just trying to destroy everything on the way out the door, and I get that. We're dealing with someone with the maturity of a high school student. Okay. One of the mean girls. But the idea that she's so burrowed in like a wood tick up a dog's ass is to me like, maybe I don't understand Hollywood. Maybe I don't understand just the way this is all working out. And, I don't understand any of it. I don't know. But it seems to me that there needs to be, there needs to be a moment to chillax, to calm down, to sit there and take stock of what we know. Now, Doomcock dropped another rumor bomb, and it pretty much, if it's true, confirmed that she wants to destroy it. If she can't have it, no one can. And, we've all seen people like that. They were 14-year-old girls or, seniors in high school trying, the cheerleaders, the cheerleading captain, right? So I get it. But he also said, not even, the rumors aren't even consistent. What was it? Months ago, he said last summer she was asked to bring in all of her stuff that she was working on to the financial guys. Okay. And now she's queen of the volcano. I don't get it. Either she's this or she's that. Either she went behind the Bob's backs and she wasn't supposed to, or, nothing's changed. Okay? Either she actually believes her own press, or they didn't do anything to her. Okay? The problem I have is the fact that people, when they're actually giving people, okay, cool, Cinna Dave, cool, that people, a meteor landing on her house when she's in the jacuzzi, I don't know, but it's like, it's really, it's past time for her to leave. And if the Bobs are so detached from it that they can't see it, then I can't help them. I can't help you. I really, really can't. But I don't believe this is a lost cause. You can't ignore the backlash. So why would, it's really funny when they talk about Chinese money. There is none. The Chinese, they're not, I don't watch, there aren't any Star Wars commercials. There aren't any, one investor called and asked about Gina, and Chapek gave the canned response, and somebody asked about firing Kathleen Kennedy, and he gave a response I actually expected him to give. And that's a response that's making everybody, their eyeballs are bleeding. He basically said, we hope she's here for the years to come. And, he basically gave the same answer he gave 2 days ago. 2 days ago, they were like, yeah, kiss of death. Today, they're like, oh my God. No one's consistent. I really think that people thought he was going to say, we're sorry to see her go. He's not even going to say that. Why? Because then it confirms everything people are thinking in the rumors, and the stocks will tank. Yeah, it is a win in our eyes. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that whole, I mean, but I gotta say, I'm not really, keen on, I don't really know about their, I mean, I know they're, obviously, Kathy's a card carrying member of the, American no, American Socialist Workers Party. Yeah, and the stocks, and their stocks went down. But he can't, he, but they feel he can't say anything legally and otherwise in that setting. Now, did he talk to people behind closed doors? Yes. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and that's the thing. They know she's hated. So why do they keep her? And I don't care what she knows. Pirates and Princesses, I haven't actually gone to see the rumors, but Pirates and Princesses say that Iger's leaving in December, which, like I said on my other live, that's scary. And that's scary for The Mandalorian, okay? And the reason simply is this. Iger's the guy that Jon Favreau talks to and answers to. So who's John going to answer to now? If it's Chapek and Chapek actually acts like he's got a pair, I'm fine. I mean, but if it's him and he's like, yeah, Kathy, and that's the thing, is like, my thing is this. Something has to change. Yes, it does shift their narrative. Something really does have to change. And it's not Favreau making an announcement and leaving. It's Kathy leaving. All right? She's the bad apple. Why does she get to do all this stuff? First off, it's corporate suicide. I don't care what they say. The guys over at Midnight's Edge and everywhere else going, oh, Chinese money. They're not getting any of that money. They made deals. They're barely getting any of that money. Star Wars did awful in China. I mean, what was it? TLJ only made $20 million? I mean, no one wanted it. No one, I mean, and she's, I just, I'm so sick and tired of people who have to look at the negative things in life, who can't sit back and go, what does this really mean? What, Carl? And you know what I'm saying? They can't sit back and go, what is he not saying? Okay. If the smaller investors are asking those questions, what are the big investors asking? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, only 20 million. And I think Tross didn't make that at all. I mean, Tross barely made $1 billion. And for the SJWs who love this, movie making $1 billion when we still had blockbusters in the last couple of years isn't that great, because a lot of movies made $1 billion. Okay? I'm just putting that out there. All right? Because movies cost so much to make and market and theater take, and I've gone through that extensively, and I'm not going to do it anymore. It's just time for people to calm down. Where is this going? Why? What didn't he say? He didn't say she was doing a bad job. That doesn't mean anything. Everything he said was basically meaningless gobbledygook to keep the investors happy. And I'm pretty sure the guy from Texas was like, bullshit. I would have called him out. If this had been a live investors meeting, he would have been called to the carpet on both answers. I know people who are investors who would have and would have made it and would have raised it so the other guys that have a lot of money, a lot of money. Now pulling merchandise. Sin Dave, I don't know what you're talking about, but if it's the 2 books, I'm not worried about the books. I know Tom was really upset about it. And it's like, no, I'm not worried about him. And the reason is this. Look at what the tweet said. It's going to be a lot bigger. Kennedy hasn't won anything. And the idea that she has is really ludicrous. I mean, I said it yesterday, I said it Monday, don't get in your enemy's way when they're making a mistake. All right? And the idea that Jon Favreau is afraid of her, I don't think he's afraid of her. I really, really don't. Well, Carl M., it's the High Republic. That's it. The High Republic. But other merchandise, I mean, the mistake that they made was leaving the merchandise and the marketing stuff and maybe the publishing stuff with Kathleen. Well, I mean, what does it prove if she stays? That they're chicken shit? Oh God, what, Carl M? What? I mean, I'm literally like this. What in the hell? I think the sad thing is that there are a lot of people out there that would have killed to have that job. Okay, Carlin. And would have done a much better job. Disney would have been making a lot of money on that. Would have brought Jon Favreau in. Oh yeah, Gina's action figure. Yeah, but that was Kennedy's call. She called up Hasbro and said, Gina, and I disagree strongly with them being angry at Gina. Now, Kennedy could have said that girl's going to be trouble. I don't think in retrospect that was the reason they went after Gina. They went after Gina because she's nice. They went after Gina because she looks like the wounded lamb. And she's a weak spot, they think, for Favreau. He's the target, okay? And the idea that they're letting this psychotic, skinny, bony ass bitch do this to the only thing that's making them any money it's like, are you all deranged? Are you all insane? I mean, where are I'm going to tomorrow get a list of the big investors, and I'm going to send them all a mass email. What are you guys doing? Do you realize what's going on? You have to talk to these two, the Bobs, and get them to get that woman out of there. And the reason why I am so adamant about this is because people like Kathleen Kennedy actually get to set the agenda on politics, on how everybody lives. It's not the vote. It matters a lot. People can sit there and deny it, but there's a reason why we don't watch TV anymore. There's a reason why a lot of people are sick and tired of the movies and don't watch the Oscars. And yet we're living in the world those people are creating. All right? It's time for those people to be held accountable for the trash that they have flung around. All right? You understand what I'm saying? You know where I'm going here? And I'm not going to sit here and allow that woman to do that anymore. We can't. As fans, all we can do is say we're not going to do it. We're not going to go back and watch this. We're not going to go back and la di da. And you have people attacking Dave Filoni without knowing anything about him really. Dave Filoni went over with Favreau. They're partners. Okay? Filoni doesn't work inside Lucasfilm and has never worked inside Lucasfilm. Hasn't since, all right? So the idea that he's one of them is hard for me to imagine, all right? I'm really, really sick and tired of people not being objective and just throwing their bias in there when they don't know what's going on. And the idea that Kathleen Kennedy's the most powerful woman in Hollywood. She's even more powerful than Oprah. Well, Oprah has $1 billion. Kennedy does not. Kathy Kennedy is the president of a failing. Oh, I hate her guts. I hate her. I fucking hate her. Kathy Kennedy is the president of a movie studio that, if she doesn't leave, will be shuttered. Okay? And she doesn't care. That's Kathy Kennedy. Anybody want to put some big, power, oh my God, Kathy, she's scary. How? I mean, something's got to give. And I don't know what it is, but I really wish people would be more objective. I'm sick and tired of 1 minute they're this way, then it's like you're dealing with a manic depressive. And taking Iger's statements, or not Iger's, but Chapek's statements from one day and him saying the same exact thing the next day and having a completely different opinion on it is like, he said the same goddamn thing. All right. And it's like everybody feeds off of everybody else. It's like if you have 2 horses or 3. Yeah, you're right, Dave. You're right. I mean, that should be a question. In fact, I think I'm gonna message both Tom and Andre and ask them that. Why isn't there another studio asking to hire her? I mean, if she's this glorious person, we don't do Ben Solo here. Ben Solo doesn't exist. It's Jason Solo, okay? I'm telling you right now. Ben Solo's a scumbag, and he's not canon, all right? Daddy butchers suck. I'm sorry, Meredith, I don't know what to do. I don't get them for a lot of lives on myself, so I can't. There are times when I think I can't do this anymore because no one sits back and goes, okay, all right, he said something interesting, and he said something that didn't mean anything. And if anything, it could mean the opposite. I mean, even on the Star Wars Direct Instagram account, they put his exact quote up there, and somebody said that means fired. Because you guys know how it works. You hear someone gets himself in trouble on Capitol Hill. I think Favreau. I really, really do. Somebody, gets in trouble on Capitol Hill. Everybody seems to rally around him. And then 3 days later, they resign. The only time you don't see it And I remember this back from 2006. Mark Foley, Republican congressman from Florida. And yeah, mine too, Dave. He was, the Democrats put this out there, that he was buggering male Capitol Hill pages. And the Republicans absolutely walked away from him. They were like, he is nuclear. It was the right thing to do. Now he resigned. When a Democrat does almost the same thing, Anthony Weiner, dick pics on Twitter, my God bless his soul, Andrew Breitbart. I'm sorry, John. I don't know why no one's getting notifications. I really, yeah, and that's exactly what I see happening here, because it happens in the corporate world too. All right. So what I see people, and again, it's the lack of consistency and objectivity. It's like, guys, 2 days ago, you were all like, oh yeah, that was blah, blah, blah. And now it's like, she's never leaving. He said, because he said years to come. It's meaningless. He could have said the sun rose and shined out of her asshole. It's meaningless. It's just there for all the investors to go, oh, okay. All it did was shine more on the problem. Because that got out there, and let me tell you, all the big boys heard it. And if they're not aware now, if they weren't aware before, they're aware now. Okay? And I think they're probably aware. You can't ignore what's been happening. And that should have been another question. Why are you guys ignoring the backlash against firing Gina Carano and the fact that Kathy Kennedy went behind your backs and Jon Favreau's to do it? Hey, Dave, we have a troll on here if you want to ban him. Thanks. Anyway, it's just really, in my opinion, and of course all the trolls are out now. Now, the morons will think that she's won. But she hasn't won anything. We don't know what's going on. Yeah. There's no reason for us to get excited. Well, see, the thing about it is that the last 30 minutes, and it was two small investors, and actually one wasn't an investor. It was a conservative think tank or nonprofit that called in, that got the number and called in. I really wish that someone would have really asked, are you aware of the backlash? Do you understand how bad it's hurting your bottom line? We know you guys are worried about the loss of subscriptions. You can sit there and say you've got 100 million subscribers. How many other millions did you lose? And I would say to Bob Chapek, I don't believe that number. I don't, because I was a subscriber, and at 2 a.m, after Gina was unceremoniously kicked to the curb, I deleted my account with you, and I'm not coming back until Kennedy's gone and Gina's back. All right, I'm not. I can watch your shows anytime. I have ways. I was just doing the honorable thing. No, I'm not gonna, because you guys aren't doing the honorable thing. All right. They need to find out one way or another that they can't do this, that they cannot keep going on. I really wish that this was all just a bad dream. And they don't. They're really in financial straits. Now, again, Chinese money was this big bugaboo, and I hear Andre and like, they don't pay them anything. They they're they don't make money in China. Yeah, yeah, and you're right, Whiplash. They don't make money in China. I mean, they're getting ripped off, and they have to know it. I mean, everybody gets ripped off when they make deals with the Chinese. That's what the Chinese do. They're like, my dog, got fixed. He wants to go there and chew the area. He can't. We've got the cone on his head. But that's what dogs do. They go over, sniff other dogs' butts. Well, I think they're kind of taking the same take that Tom and those guys are, because that's I think the popular, like I said, everybody feeds off of everybody else. And you can't do that, especially in stuff like this, because A, we don't know what's going on. B, we're about 2 or 3 weeks behind the story. Okay, now today, 2 books were pulled. A novel, because they have to rework it, and the Mandalorian visual dictionary. I don't know what that means, but you guys saw the tweet because I put it on this thing, and I don't really care about Marvel. In fact, if all the SJWs went there and all the normal people went to Lucasfilm, I'd be like, fuck Marvel. I'd much rather be just going, you poor Iron Man fans. I mean, I feel sorry for Jon Favreau because he's the one that started it, but, better you guys than us. Yeah, we have to be, and it said, I'm going to paraphrase, we're sorry we have to do this, but with the Mandalorian universe expanding so much. But see, the people that got all upset didn't, I don't know if they even read it. We are pulling the book back. We're canceling it. And it's going to come out at a later date. Okay. The novel is not, I don't know. I haven't read that one. Okay, I'm frozen. Okay, back. It all is. She's tainting the entire fucking company. And I'm sick and tired of hearing about how much money they're making with the Chinese. They're not making shit. Oh, I would have. In fact, if I'd have called in, I'd have said that. I have, I don't know how many shares would make him sit up and pop a few buttons. How many shares would make him go, oh shit? I really wish I could get somebody like Mortimer Buckley or Larry Fink and sit down and talk to them about this. And really just say, you guys are the ones that have to go in there and force him to do something. Because it's going to end up losing you money because she's tainted everything. Every product in Disney. You can't go to a Disney site where there's comments and not say fired Kathleen Kennedy. And they have to notice. They can't just ignore it. It's there in front of your face. The only person who can blithely ignore it is Kathy because she's hiding. Yeah, I think we do. I really, really think we do. I think if you have Disney stock, just sell it. Get rid of it. I don't care where it came from or, I wasn't going to sell it till I turned 50. Fucking get rid of it. Dump it. You'll see their stock go down. I know people with enough stock to really cause problems for them. Oh, Meredith, the only person I've heard she might have dirt on is Iger, and that I've never actually had it explained what that dirt might be. And the fact that they 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 haven't come back and told me what that dirt might be. There isn't any rumors of any dirt on Iger. So it's like, what are you talking about? And I honestly think it's firing a woman. Now, the lady that did the parks that was fired 2 years ago, don't give a shit about her. She did parks, right? But here's the deal. If it's the goddess, Lord goddess on high, and they were like, you need to go. We're asking for your resignation letter. It's like, oh my God, we can't, you know, a woman in a position of power. Yeah, but I'm not buying. She's the most powerful woman in Hollywood. I want proof. You know, Primeval. No, what dirt would that be? He's married 3 times. I mean, George Lucas is literally the most unassuming person on the planet. He's a quiet, shy guy. I mean, if you've ever seen the movie Ready Player One and the guy that plays Holiday, Holiday is literally George Lucas in that. He's very shy. He's really, really focused on how stuff works and the technology and everything. And it's a really good movie, and I really, really like it. And I think you guys, if you haven't seen it, see it, because you're gonna see what I mean. And it's what's really funny is that people gave Spielberg shit about it, but it was a total Spielberg movie, and it was good. I liked it. I had fun at this movie. You know, what it was fans fighting back against a corporation. Well, who should have been? George, what can he do about it? He doesn't run Star Wars anymore. He's been helping with The Mandalorian. I mean, he can't, and really, he's probably under an NDA, can't talk about it anymore. Somebody is going to write a book about this and interview a lot of people when this is all over. But I'm going to tell you guys, have patience. This is going to work out. I know it is. And the reason why I know it is because the backlash is so complete. I mean, The Rock was literally like, and I can't be negative. I don't understand. People don't sit back and look and go, what does this really mean? Like him saying, oh, she's great, she's gonna be here, blah, blah, years, blah. Chapek. It's like, he didn't say anything. What's he supposed to say? And why are we getting so upset by it? I really think people have to start being more objective and just sit back, stop thinking about themselves and how bad they feel about what's going on, and start looking at what we know. The Last Shale. And what we know is Jon Favreau was successful and brought back Luke Skywalker. Gina, was being herself and not backing down. And Kennedy went behind Iger's back and Chapek's back and fired her. That's exactly, and I would have said that. If I had been in on that call, I would say, why do you allow presidents of the companies that are under your umbrella to go around behind your backs doing things behind your backs, like firing Gina Carano, or not, whatever that was. And we know that Ms. Kennedy went behind your back to get Leslie Headland, that garbage TV show she's going to do. And I was like, garbage TV show. And then she went and did this. And you still don't do anything about it. Why? And why shouldn't every investor say, we're done, and pull their money out? I don't give a shit. Why? Well, here's the deal. Cameron says they're scared to death of the left. So they're cowards. I'm like, I'm not afraid of them. I'm not. Now you got to remember, though, that Iger was on the COVID task force for California. And Gavin Newsom, after he said, Iger went to him and said, look, I need to open Disneyland. I need to do it. Gavin Newsom said, fuck you. Iger left the COVID task force. Okay. Gavin Newsom is the face of the smarmy, let Antifa burn everything down crowd. Now, I'm going to tell you this. When Antifa showed up on the gates of Beverly Hills, they got shut down. They got shut down when they tried to go into Brentwood. Well, we don't do that. Someday we might. If we do, it's going to be really ugly. Like, it'll make Portland and San Francisco and Seattle and DC last summer look like a walk in the park. All right? I'm not kidding. I'm saying that. They didn't give Antifa a pass when they were trying to get into Beverly Hills. All right? But when they were burning down mom and pop's shop, stores in the rest of LA, fuck it, let them do it. They use Twitter as leverage, but what is Twitter? A dying social media platform? I mean, that's bleeding money. That's now going to subscription only, or going to subscription and paying for tweets because it can't make any money. Think about it. Think about it. Money talks, bullshit walks. And you can sit there and talk about, how great the Chinese are and, Disney making all that money, and that's a pipe dream. They're not. I know they're not. Hey, Lucas. No, they weren't pre-screened. They weren't. In fact, the guy who asked a question about Gina said they didn't pre-screen him. And, on this, they don't. But now we just have to sit and wait. I just, part of me doesn't like the way this is going because I'm feeding off of other people's energy. And I can't do that. Well, no. I mean, I'm going to tell you something. This is the first time, except Lorena Creel did say that last summer or last year before the COVID lockdown, when they were face to face, people did ask about Kennedy. Okay. They want her gone. These are investors. They have a lot more money than I do. They might be small potatoes compared to BlackRock and State Street and Vanguard, but they're not, they're still are people with enough money to have a vote. it's going to be telling. I really wish I understood what it's not just got to be positive. It's got to look at it and go, what's really going on here? Why did they pull those two books? What does that mean? Does it mean Kennedy won, like Tom was saying? No, it doesn't. Of course they all expected that. You know, I mean, I got people on other streams I know would be here who are crying about it. It's like, what did you think he was going to say? Honestly, he's got people like Mortimer Buckley and Larry Fink listening to him. They could squash him like a grape. He could be out on his ass tomorrow if he fucked up. The board could vote him out. All he had to, mentioning Kennedy dropped the, maybe he already did, C-Man or G-Man. We don't know. See, again, we are so far behind the times. You know, God, why is this freezing up on me? Come on. What the hell? Okay. Sorry, guys. You know, I forgot when it froze up, I forgot my point. The thing is this. We have to get, okay, good. I'm glad. It was just really like, what the hell is that? Thing about it is this. We have to get people to understand that they need to chillax. They need to calm down. Stop being emotional. I know, tempers are involved and all the rest of the stuff. But you need to kind of sit back, kick back, and go, what the fuck? Because ultimately, Iger or Chapek was just bullshitting everybody. Okay? And the people that called in know that. They know that, all right? They understand all this stuff. And I think we should too. You understand what I'm saying? We need to understand where he is when he's talking about it. What's really going on? These are the things. Again, I'll give you the things we know. Luke shows up. Mandalorian season 2, fantastic. Save Star Wars for about 3.5 seconds. Kennedy decides to go around the Bobs and Favreau and fire Gina. Favreau finds out about it, and this was a video last week, so that it's going to be a month. Thursday, all right. Favreau finds out about it literally that Thursday evening and is yelling at somebody, probably Bob Iger, and how can she do this to me? Well, I'm Kathleen Kennedy. I can do anything. And then the High Republic comes out. Oh, I forgot to mention, Star Wars Theory being mocked by that fucker, Pablo Hidalgo. High Republic comes out and everybody starts mocking and laughing. It is a total failure. And, hey Trela, and okay, fine. It's a whatever. And this shit, and then we get to find out about Leox Gyasi and the Rock, and a ship called Ship, aka Vessel. Well, that's an interesting take. if the books are, I'm going to bring that up with Tom. In fact, I'm going to send Tom and Andre a message when we're done. I'm going to say, you guys failed to, do you guys realize that the books are done by the story group? You know, that's an interesting take. Yeah, well, yeah, she was. But if you look at what Gina said, they were harassing her all through filming Mandalorian season 1 and 2. I mean, with the makeup artists and stuff like that. Pablo got into an argument with her, and then he ran it to Mama Kathy. She's being mean to me. You know, what were you afraid, Pablo? She was gonna hit you in the mouth? She'd hurt you if you did. I'm telling you right now. And that would have been funny. In fact, I'd pay money to see that. That's a good point. That's a really good point. And that about the story group, I mean, these are the things. I mean, we don't know what's going on. So we're all the way to here. The Kennedy shows up with that Oscar video, gets ratioed into oblivion, and they take down comments and likes and dislikes. Oh, if she goes, he does. That would, I mean, be the first day I'd be like, you're fired. But you know what I would do? In fact, I might write this as like a fan fiction or something, just because it's almost like the thing that would be great is to take every tweet he posted from any of his accounts that was attacking fans and mocking people and getting into fights on Twitter and saying horrible things, and have all the malefactors at Lucasfilm sitting in one spot. Yeah, it was Freddie Prinze Jr. Oh, she'd kick his ass. Then you'd have the decent people who just want to do a good job. Then I would bring in all the YouTubers that they all hate, have them on one side. Then I'd have everybody come out on the days. And I would humiliate Pablo, his wife. I'd have Freddie Prinze Jr., I'd have Claudia Gray, and all of them. And I would say, this is really, really bad. Not only did you fail at everything you were supposed to be doing creatively to make a product people wanted to buy and consume, you were attacking the people that would be buying that. And then I'd show the tweets. And then I'd show the things that they were saying. And, yeah, because he heard it from Dave Filoni. And he was so high on coke, I can't even, when he was saying that too, by the way. And, he'd be there. I would have people I would have Brian Young and Geek Girl Diva and Jason Ward. I'd have Brian Young and Jason Ward sitting together, and then I'd bring all the weird shit they were doing, and then I'd have the FBI waiting for them outside because it's a federal crime to do that on the internet. It's an interstate crime. Guess what? You bitches are going to federal prison. I mean, I would do it, and the reason why is so it never, ever happens again. That everybody seeing that would understand. You do something that heinous where you're smearing, the fans, the creator of this beautiful, story, and you're hurting our company. You're besmirching our name. And oh, by the way, you're also besmirching the name of Disney. And the Bobs behind me don't like that. So guess what I get to do? I get carte blanche to hire and fire anybody I want. You, all of you, all 50 of you, buy, envelopes in the back. You see your name on one. You sign one copy, or you sign both copies. Take your copy, take your severance check, and get the hell out. That's exactly what I do. And do it in front of everybody. And I had a Favreau there, I had Filoni there, I had all the people that were working really hard. And you know who would walk out on the days? Gina. And before they'd leave, I'd say, by the way, she's been hired back for season 3. And if we hear one word on Twitter about her, if we see anything on her, any hashtags trending, you violated your NDA. Because we know you did it. We have proof. It is defamation of character. It really, really is. Anyway, all right, so Echo Base is on. I'm going to try to jump in a little bit real quick and see what they're doing. So you guys, I'll see you around. This is just a flight of fancy right now, the last thing, but that's what has to happen. It'd be really great for them to find a woman who loves Star Wars, who wants to do the right thing and hates Kathleen Kennedy, to come in and clean it up. Because then they could say, well, we hired another woman. What are you talking about?